Hi, this is Teresa Jewel again, and we are on part 2 of weaving a rug on a continuous strand weaving loom. This is a 3-foot square. If you are just finding this video, this is part 2. Part 1, we began and explained the loom a little bit. So as you can see, I've done almost all my weaving. I just have one more string to go up. And also, if you look at the ends of the loom, I do have more nails, and you would think that I would go up and weave another round, but if you look and see how much space, there really isn't enough space to weave one more up and then your last string. So if you see something like this and you don't have enough room, but you have more nails, don't worry about it. Don't fret, because as long as your weave is correct over and under, and I actually see a mistake right here, as long as your weave is correct over and under, your rug's going to turn out fine. Don't try to force more strands through, because what you're going to do is shred your rug yarn. And with that being said, also remember that when you are pulling your rug yarn through, make sure you're grabbing a hold of the core in the rug yarn. I'm sure if you've worked with rug yarn before, you know that it's core spun, which means that inside this piece of yarn, really thick yarn, there's a core. Sometimes it's cotton core or a jute core, and then around it is spun the alpaca. So you want to make sure that when you're pulling it through, you're grabbing a hold and you're pulling on the core, not so much the outside, or you're just going to fray your rug yarn. So we are on the last strand of our rug, and what I'm going to do is take this piece, because this is our last string. We've got one strand that's got to go right in the middle and end. So what I'm going to do, you can see I'm measuring it up, giving myself some slack, and I'm going to cut right about here. Now for this last piece, I'm just taking this last little thread. And like I said, don't worry so much that you have extra nails. You can see these extra nails. And I'm making sure I can feel that core in my rug yarn as I'm weaving up. Now this loom, this 3-foot square that I'm weaving on, my husband and I make Stone Mountain looms. They are $200, and you can see they make beautiful rugs. If you have any questions on your rug or rug yarn, you can always get a hold of me. You can message me on Facebook. The phone number on our website, you can always text or call that number to try to reach me, and I'll try to answer any questions that you have. If you are interested in purchasing rug yarn, you can also get a hold of me for rug yarn. It's about $82 for a bump of rug yarn, and that bump will give you enough rug yarn to complete a rug and have some left over for another rug. Now, as you can see, I'm done weaving. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back, and I do this with all of our looms and I'm just making everything even. And even with our other looms, people have said that, well, there's a gap. there's, you know, it seems like there's too many holes, or the holes are too wide in the middle where I did my last string. So what you're going to want to do while your work is still on your loom is go ahead and even things out a little bit, because it's a lot easier to even things out when it's still on your loom than rather when you take it off. And you can see it just makes everything look really, really nice and even. So if you look at the overall, you can see the pattern marks, and these are the notches that I burned where I changed colors. And even though we used all natural colors, because you know it was kind of variegated, you can see the pattern in it, and I think it looks really, really nice. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take it off the loom, and it's this easy. All you're going to do is take off your clothespins, and of course if you didn't change colors you won't have clothespins. Now you're just going to take it right off your loom, and I'm just pulling it right off the pegs. There's no need for binding it off or tying anything when you're using rug yarn, because what we're going to do is we're going to weave in our ends, and I'm going to show you how that's done. Now we're going to go to the floor. And we're going to have my mom get really close so we can see what we're doing here. And here's all of our ends. So how I'm going to finish this off is I'm going to take these ends. Now remember, it's rug yarn, so it's all going to, after we're done, we're going to put it in the washing machine, and it's all going to felt together. You're really not going to see many ends. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to backtrack on these ends, and I'm just going to weave them in and out. And these ends are going to blend in and hide right in our rug. And no one is going to see them when we're all done. If by some chance, when you're all done with your rug and you threw it in the washing machine, you pull it out, there is a little end sticking up. All you have to do is take a little needle felting tool and felt it down. I think I've made probably 5 rugs like this, and I've only had to do that maybe 1 or 2 times. And of course, the longer you leave your ends, the more you have to weave in. I like them longer though, because I'd rather leave them longer and trim any excess than maybe not have enough. And again with this end, I'm just going to bring it right in onto itself. Now when I say throw it in the washing machine, people ask me, well, what setting? Is it gentle? Is it a wool cycle? Honest and truly, all I do is throw them in the washing machine, the same cycle that I would do my towels, with some Tide or Arm & Hammer or whatever kind of detergent you have, and let it go. I pull it out and put them in the dryer. Now when they're in the dryer, I'll take them out maybe every 5-10 minutes to check on them, but that's going to make them really tighten up. And you can see how this, after weaving it in on itself, you can't see any of these ends, so you can change colors anytime you want. And these ends are just going to hide right in. So it's probably going to take me about 20 more minutes to weave in those ends, but you can see they're going to hide right in there. And that's it for rug making. And if you have any questions, just give me a message. Thanks.